Chuckles. Hope I'm not interrupting.
The Veil is a wound inflicted upon this world. It must be healed.
By drowning the world in demons?
I have taken precautions to minimize the damage, Varrick.
Minimize the... People are dying right now. You need to listen. Please.
People are always dying. It is what they do.
Why tear down the Veil, knowing all the lives it'll cost?
We shared a journey years ago. Do you believe that I would do this if there was some other better option?
The pillar's weak, but...
It isn't falling. We need to push it.
Right!
Together, now! You came a long way and made a valiant effort, Varrick, but this story does not end with my downfall. Push! You have no idea what you have done.
Solas.
I know what I did. I stopped you from destroying the world.
I was not destroying the world. When you disrupted my ritual, the magical energies pulled me here, into the Fade.
Okay, so that's why you're here. But why am I here?
Your physical body is unconscious, but you shed a few drops of blood at the ritual site. Enough for a tenuous connection.
Blood magic?
Firstly, I abhor the use of blood magic. Secondly, had I the power to control you, I would already have used it.
All right, you brought me here to talk. What are we talking about?
The Evanurus, or as you would call them, the Elven Gods. The creatures that escaped. In ancient times, they ruled the elves, but that was not enough. They sought not just to be obeyed, but to be worshipped. When I rebelled, they drew on the horrific magic of the Blight, corrupting all they saw until I trapped them. Thanks to you, though, I am now trapped, and the blighted Elven Gods walk free.
Right, you were innocently doing nothing when we came along.
The prison in which I had trapped them had begun to crumble. I was moving them to another.
So you weren't tearing down the veil and drowning the world in demons and wild magic.
I had a plan.
Varrick always said you'd have a big explanation for why none of this was your fault.
Varrick.
Yeah, he said that's your style. Never quite lies, clever half-truths that let you convince yourself you're doing the right thing. He tried to talk to you anyway, and now he's hurt.
Varrick is quite practiced at shading the truth himself.
So those things that got out, you said they were gods?
They said they were gods. Blighted, tyrannical, sadistic gods. It took all my power to imprison them millennia ago, but I am certain you will be fine.
How bad are we talking here?
Their power outstripped my own even before they embraced the corruption of the Blight.
But you did imprison them.
Through trickery. I also had a ritual dagger of pure lyrium, and a network of mirrors to take me from the lighthouse across the world.
I don't have either of those.
Well then, I expect you will be busy.
Elganan and Gillenane are your problem to solve. This is your responsibility now.
Back so soon. It must have been worse than I had thought.
Hello, Dreadwolf.
But perhaps I am mistaken. You may be here to correct me, to tell me that my concerns were unfounded. Did I overstate the danger?
So you're gonna be insufferable about it. See, this is the reason nobody likes you.
I led a rebellion for centuries that culminated in the creation of the Veil and the destruction of the Elven Empire.
Okay, this is among the reasons nobody likes you.
My information was accurate. Now you realize that the danger is real.
I need to know what the gods are planning.
You are asking for knowledge no mortal in this world is privy to. If I am to share it with you, I need to know what makes you the right person to lead the fight against Elganan and Gillenane.
Someone has to do something. I may not be the right person for this job, but I'm the only one left.
So your call to action is that any attempt is better than none?
With the Veil Jumpers, I was in a dangerous part of the forest full of wild magic. My team got free, but not everyone did. There were a lot of people still trapped, including Varrick.
So you went in, against orders, and freed them.
How'd you know that?
You helped Varrick pursue me for the better part of a year. It would have been foolish not to learn about who was hunting me.
Then you know that if someone has to make a call, I'll do it.
I suppose I was not so different when I started.
Started what?
My rebellion against the Evanurus. The Elven Gods, as you call them. They wish to reclaim their dominion over this world. To accomplish that, they will need two things. First, the Blight. What exists in this world is a bare fragment of its power. The rest is imprisoned, until they release it.
I don't understand. Elganan and Gillenane were elves like you, right? Why would they want to blight the world?
It is my fault. As the Dreadwolf, I was a thorn in their side. When my efforts weakened their grasp on the Elven people, they grew frustrated, then desperate.
And turned to the blight.
Once the corruption took hold of them, they were blind to its horror. It was just another source of power for them. Now they would blight the world without hesitation and call us backward and foolish for opposing them.
The Blight didn't escape with the gods?
Elganon and Gillenane escaped largely empty-handed, fortunately. Most of the Blight is still trapped in the prison I created ages ago.
So what we saw at that village, that's them not at full strength?
Correct.
The rest of the Blight is imprisoned? There's more than what's in the world already?
Yes. Centuries ago, the Magisters of Tevinter opened my prison. A tiny fragment of the Blight escaped. That fragment grew beneath the earth and led to the Blights that have swept across the world. However terrible the Blight is now, it is a mere fraction of what we will see if its full power is unleashed.
What would they need to do to free the Blight? And how do we stop them from doing it?
They will need to pierce the veil to reach the Blight's prison. My Lyrium Dagger is one of the few artifacts capable of doing so.
We've already recovered it from the ritual site.
Excellent. Then they will have to make their own. That will give you time.
You said the gods needed two things, and the Blight is the first. What's the second?
Followers. They have called themselves gods. And what is a god without worshippers to sing their praises?
You think they want the elves back? I don't think the elven people will bend a knee to blighted murderous monsters.
Agreed. Elganon and Gillenane care little for the elves. They will find worshippers among those hungry for power. Tyrants and bullies. The cruel and the corrupt, who fear their own vulnerability and seize any chance to feel strong. If you hunt them, they will lead you to Elganon and Gillenane.
You want me to pick fights with tyrants and bullies? Sounds fun.
I gave no orders. All I offer are suggestions.
I'm on it. What else?
The Veravas, the lighthouse Soluvian, can take you anywhere, if you master its secrets. Have you done so?
Not yet, but we've got one of the Veil Jumpers working on it. She'll get it sorted, and we'll see how it goes.
Yes. I suppose we will. And when you speak with Varrick, please tell him that I regret what happened.
When last we spoke, you were hunting for followers of Elganon and Gillenane in hopes of finding specifics. Has your search been successful?
You could say that. It looks like both the Venatori and the Antam are working for Elganon and Gillenane.
Unsurprising. The Venatori want magical secrets, and the Antam want to destroy anyone opposing their brutal expansion. Both will readily bow to anyone who promises them power.
It's more than a promise this time. The Antam and the Venatori both have dragons doing their bidding.
Dragons? That is worse than I had feared.
Yeah. We drove off the one the Venatori brought into Minrathous. Barely.
Have you determined how the dragons are being directed? If it is blood magic, it may be possible to disrupt their control.
The dragons were blighted. We think that's what let the gods control them.
The Blight. Of course.
The Blight seems to be the gods' favorite tool right now. We ran into Venatori who could control Darkspawn.
Elganon would not bestow such power unless the Darkspawn were to serve as the main force of his army. And I suspect Gillenane will see the Darkspawn as new subjects for her modifications.
We've already run into a few Darkspawn nobody has seen before. That's in addition to the blighted dragons.
That is the fate Elganon and Gillenane planned for this world then. Corruption and blighted slavery.
Right. Everyone should be free and uncorrupted when your demons and raw magic kill them.
Do you truly believe my goal was to destroy this world?
I believe your goal, like you said, was to transfer the gods to a better prison. The one you're stuck in now. And you were willing to tear down the veil and destroy this world while you did so.
The veil is a wound I cut into the Fade in a moment of desperation, while making their prison. It should not exist. I had a host of spirits ready to help when the veil fell. They would have minimized the loss of life.
So best guess, how many deaths? Hundreds? Thousands?
At least. Those deaths would have been on my conscience. But the world would once again be as it should be.
Oh, and here I was worried.
Many would have died, I know. But afterward, flowers would grow again.
Spoken like a god.
I am not a god. I am, as I have always been, a man, all too aware of his failings. But equally aware that if he did not act, accepting the judgment it would bring, all would be lost. They called me the Dreadwolf. What will they call you when this is over?
I've got enough problems right now as it is. That's one for future Rook to deal with.
Pragmatism. You will focus on the present, knowing that someday you will face the consequences of your choices. I believe I can work with that. If the gods are using dragons, you will wish to find someone trained to fight them. Have you unlocked the Lighthouse Illuvian?
Yes. We found the crossroads. It's still confusing, though.
I cannot help you from in here. You may need to find an expert in the magic of the Fade. And if the Darkspawn are to be Elganon's army, you will need Grey Wardens to fight them.
I've got a few of them. Their leaders don't trust me right now, though.
I have faith in you, Rook. You seem to have a knack for gaining the cooperation of your adversaries. How fares your battle?
The gods are moving against Weishaupt and the Grey Wardens. We've heard rumors the Darkspawn are being led by an Archdemon.
And you have questions?
I need to know how Archdemons relate to the gods. Are they just like the Blighted Dragons, or are they something else? I also need to know how to deal with the gods if they show up at Weishaupt.
I propose a bargain. I will answer your question if you answer mine.
What?
How are the Grey Wardens? Do they understand the truth of the danger yet?
We've been through this already. You agreed to help me.
What did you think my help would look like, Rook? I need to know that you are prepared.
No. The First Warden still refuses to listen.
As I feared.
I tried diplomacy, I tried being firm. Nothing worked.
When I asked why you should be trusted to lead the fight, you said that nobody else was doing it. That sufficed for me, but you will need more to convince the Grey Wardens. They see themselves as destined to lead this battle.
You cannot defeat Elganon and Gillenane without the Wardens. What will you do to bring them to your side?
I don't have to convince all of them. I just have to convince the First Warden.
Or remove him.
Enjoyable as that is to imagine, I doubt the rest of the Wardens would approve.
Did you know the Evanuris once numbered many more than those whose names survived in the Elven Pantheon? One warlord was particularly cruel. I sought to free his slaves, but so fearsome was his reputation that none would join me.
What did you do?
I made people laugh at him.
How did that help?
For 12 years. Every sound near him, from whispered pleas to shouted oaths to crackling fire, all became mocking laughter. His mind broke under the ridicule, and when he fell, his slaves rose up and joined me.
I doubt laughter is going to work on the First Warden.
If not that, then what?
I can't force the First Warden to listen. I have to let the Wardens try it their way.
And how many Wardens will die before the First Warden realizes his mistake?
I've done everything I can to reason with him.
I once warned an elven village that Gillenane was coming and they were in danger. They would not listen. I had to watch as their bodies twisted, as their shrieks turned into the grunting of animals. Their eyes were the worst part. They were still aware. They knew what had been done to them. I gained little peace from knowing that I had tried to warn them. Is that what you hoped for?
No. I have to find a way to get through to them.
Then what will you do?
Whatever it takes.
Easily said. But it will have to be enough for now. You have answered my question, and I owe you an answer in return.
Yes, the old gods of Tevinter, the Archdemons.
There never were Tevinter gods. The Archdemons, as you call them, were always merely the weapons of the Evanurus.
All right. Let's hope we can find the gods before they find their weapons.
Unfortunately, the Dragon Thrall's life force is bound to the Evanurus as both power and protection. You will not be able to kill or likely even harm one of the Evanurus until their Dragon Thrall is slain.
What can you tell me about the Archdemons themselves?
Each is different, shaped by the whims and ego of its master. Elganon is the Lord of Tyranny. He would have ruled alone had Mythor not forced him to share power. Those who are strong, he molds into dictators themselves, with visions of godhood. Those who are weak, he crushes. His Archdemon reflects him. It is huge, to feed his ego, the epitome of dragonkind, bent to his will.
Elganon sounds legitimately terrible.
He is cruelty and arrogance personified. All of the Evanurus were flawed, but he made all of them worse. By contrast, Gillenane was a servant of Andrul, whose skill at making monsters earned her promotion to the Evanurus. She is brilliant, ambitious, and unconstrained by anything you would understand as morality. In a kinder world, you would never need to see what she has done to her Archdemon. In this world, I only hope you kill it quickly. In any event, the Evanurus will not be vulnerable until their Archdemons are dead.
The old stories of the Tevinter gods have them whispering in the dreams of ancient magisters. How did they do that if they were just tools of the elven gods?
The Archdemons were once high dragons. The Evanurus bound them as a source of power. When I imprisoned the gods, their dragons remained free. That was my mistake.
How so?
I never bound a dragon to myself, for I believed that to enslave another creature was immoral. As such, I did not understand the power that connection gave. I thought the prison I had made was perfect. But their dragons were the conduit through which they spoke to dreaming minds.
It says a lot about these talks that killing Archdemon is the easy part.
It will not be easy. But you are this world's only hope. I would not suggest this path if I did not believe you could succeed.
Ah, the god of lies believes in me.
Even with their dragons dead, the Evanurus are powerful and well protected. You will need to use my dagger, the one you recovered. It can pierce their enchantments and strike them down.
All right. Kill the Archdemons, then use the dagger to take down the gods.
Even a single opportunity to strike the Evanurus down will be rare, fleeting, and costly. You will not have another chance to catch them unawares. When you strike, you must be fully prepared. The fall of Weishaupt reverberated across the Fade, as did the fall of an Archdemon. But unless I am mistaken, both Elganon and Gillenane yet stand.
We took down Gillenane's Archdemon, but we weren't able to kill her.
And how are you doing?
I came to you to figure out our next steps. I don't need a shoulder to cry on.
Of course. As a leader, you are wise to put away concerns and show only confidence to your team. And your adversaries. At least you still have Varrick to talk to. What of your companions? How have they handled the events at Weishaupt?
They have what it takes to stop the gods. I just need to get them to believe it.
Indeed. They must know beyond any doubt that you believe in them. You cannot stand against Elganon and Gillenane with logic. Those motivated by greed or self-interest will change alliances, but those who serve you with passion and loyalty will follow wherever you lead, even to their deaths if necessary.
I'm not planning to order anyone to their deaths.
If you gain their loyalty, they will need no orders. They will volunteer.
I can't build these people up knowing I might have to send them to their deaths. There's always another option.
Perhaps you are right. Building your team is the best way to minimize the chance of such an order becoming necessary.
I'll keep that in mind. Do you have any suggestions on our next move against the gods?
If you oppose Elganan and Gilnean's minions, you will get your opportunity.
You think one of the Antam or Venatori commanders will help us find the gods?
Possibly. But more importantly, you will aggravate them. You rendered Gilnean mortal at Weishaupt. It is an embarrassment, an insult, neither she nor Elganan can ignore. If you continue to disrupt their plans, you will not need to track them down. They will come to you.
And then we get some payback for Weishaupt.
As long as you are ready when the opportunity comes. One final warning. You have survived a confrontation with Gilnean, which few still live to claim. But her power pales in comparison to Elganan's. If he takes the field himself, remember, in a fight such as ours, escaping to fight another day is a victory.
The Dalish prisoners escaped safely?
We got them away free and clear.
Good. Whatever my frustrations with them, it feels good to have helped my people again. Thank you for allowing me to help. A chance to infuriate Elganan was a reminder of simpler times.
You and Elganan were really tearing into one another back there.
I needed to goad him to anger in order to distract him. But yes, while all of the Evanuris were monsters in their own ways, Elganan was the worst. Or perhaps it is more honest to say that his were the faults I've found most objectionable. You have met him now, heard his voice hammering at the doors of your mind, and you have met me. Can you see how he and I might frustrate one another?
The two of you are too much alike. Both of you want to be in charge.
I have no desire to be in charge.
No, you just want to be able to correct anyone who's not doing everything the way you would have done it.
I see you have been observing me as well during these conversations.
All right. I can see how you and Elganan would hate each other.
He has always been what I most feared becoming. Callous and uncaring, his arrogance unchecked. To have that much power and no one to remind him that he could be wrong.
Well, he had you.
And I suppose I had you.
You said you found the Dalish frustrating. Why is that?
It is unfair to them. I lived for thousands of years, and after I imprisoned the Evanuris, I slept for thousands more. I awoke in a world that had forgotten the ancient times almost entirely. And those who tried to remember Elven history, like the Dalish, had gotten so much wrong.
Let me guess. You tried to tell them what they were getting wrong, and they didn't believe you.
There are few things that frustrate me as much as ignorance. I tried to explain the truth to one clan. When I convinced them that I was truly Fen'Harel, they attacked me. After that, I hid my explanations behind the facade of having witnessed events in the Fade.
And the Fade is the realm of dreams. I'll have to present that as evidence.
Yes. The Dalish had no reason to believe me. I could only watch as they continued to worship Elganan, though we may have seen the last of that tradition, at least.
We would have had a hard time getting out of there without your help.
I did not spend this long preparing you only to lose you to Elganan's machinations. No, I am sorry. That was poorly said. You have earned better from me.
Okay.
When we first met, I saw you only as a foolishly confident child who disrupted my plans. You were an irritant. I gave you information to oppose Elganan out of necessity, but I expected you to be nothing more than a tool. Seeing you with your team, I was wrong.
I appreciate you saying that. Couldn't have been easy.
The only thing worse than being wrong is realizing it, but being afraid to change. Elganan's pride is no greater than mine, but he denies any failure on his part, and I at least try to acknowledge my mistakes. Your team trusts you, and you listen to them. It is impressive and enviable.
It took me centuries to build such a bond during my rebellion, and when I served the Inquisition, I tried to avoid entanglements.
What about the Inquisitor? Does she not count as a friend?
She was useful, but there were others I grew fond of despite myself when I was with the Inquisition.
Cole, a spirit of compassion, I helped adapt to our new world. He was the only one who knew who I really was. I miss him a great deal. Josephine, the Inquisition's ambassador, was a bastion of kindness and decency in a world that looked down on elves and apostates. Even Cassandra Pendergast of the Order of the Seekers. She was what a believer should be. Faithful, practical, committed to serving, not ruling. I suppose I did bond with the Inquisition after all, as you have with your team.
Thank you for sharing that. So what comes next? What are the gods going to do?
Elganan and Gillenane are preparing the dagger they will use for their ritual to pierce the veil. Elganan's power is tied to light and darkness. He will need to perform a ritual during the next eclipse.
That gives us some time to prepare.
It is likely to be your last chance to do so. You must be ready for whatever comes, for this world and for the team that trusts you. I know that you will do everything in your power not to fail them.
Lucanus! Lucanus!
And so you have your victory. You live, and Gillenane does not. Are you not proud to finally reach this moment? Or did you think you'd win the day without some painful sacrifice?
If we don't stop that dragon, people will die. Innocent people. No one's retreating.
We'll all die.
Archdemon attacking the force.
You and your friends stood against the gods. Your courage is laudable.
Solas!
But mortals cannot win this battle. I am sorry it is what must be.
I saved you, Rook. What was the point? You were never up to it.
You're worthless.
Varrick never believed.
You failed us all.
What failure cuts your conscience now, I wonder?
Nev!
Blood on your hands.
Your friend is dead.
Dead and gone.
Your fault.
Regret, like all emotions, is a powerful thing. It can bruise us, break us, or blind us to the truth. Regret is even strong enough to serve as the lock on a prison built to hold gods. And such a prison can hold any captive. Even you. You were never ready to make the sacrifices that leadership requires. So through our connection, I molded you into someone the prison would accept in my place.
Varrick.
Your work is done. as surprising as ever. Even I could not have escaped that prison. For you to manage it.
Varrick believed in me when nobody else did.
He was a good man.
He was always there for me. Except that he wasn't. Because you killed him.
What happened at the ritual site?
I know what happened! I remember the truth now! You did something to my mind to make me keep seeing him!
Yes. I was wrong to do so.
You knew Varrick was dead the whole time, but you kept pushing me not to see it! Why? How?
I was desperate. Unless I escaped, the world would fall to tyranny and blight. The only tool I had was my tenuous connection to you.
Blood magic.
As I said, I was wrong.
You feeling bad about stabbing me in the back is not my problem right now. I have a city to save and a god to kill.
Agreed. I betrayed you because I believed that only I could save this world. But I have failed, Rook. I have not stopped Elganon. I have not even defeated his Archdemon. The victories that have been won since Elganon and Gillenane escaped are yours, not mine. If we are to save this world, we must work together.
You've got to be kidding me. You just finished apologizing for the last time you betrayed me.
I know. I cannot change the past.
How stupid do you think I am? The best possible version of this is that we kill Elganon, and then you finish your ritual and drown the world in demons.
If joining me and stopping Elganon requires the veil to stay in place, then I will pay that price unflinching. I swear by my own foolish pride, by love for friends I failed and hurt, by everything I ever held as sacred. I will leave the veil untroubled. It will never come down by my hand. Now, if you will come with me, I can show you what has prevented me from reaching Elganon. And you can tell me your plan. Do you feel it? The blight reacts to my presence. There. That must be the source of whatever intelligence guides it. If you can destroy the mind guiding the blight, we may be able to reach the palace. I can accompany you no further. My presence will only draw the blight to you. Once Elganon is mortal, the final blow must be yours. I can think of no one better to wield this.
Just make sure the Archdemon is dead by the time I get to Elganon.
You will have what you need. Good luck. When next we meet, let us be standing over Elganon's body!
still have time.
It's fine. There's got to be another way there. Get to the throne room. I know how to help Solas.
Solas.
I've got this. Go!
The Dreadwolf cannot save you. He cannot even save himself. Now you understand that none may stand against me. Those who try stand alone. You will kneel.
Damn it.
Come now. You did as well as anyone could have, but you cannot deny the truth.
Let them go!
Elganon. Enjoy it while it lasts. It is done. The world owes you a debt, both for defeating Elganon and for bringing down the Veil. I am sorry for this final betrayal, but I will do what I can to minimize the damage. When you see the old world restored, please, Rook. I do not wish to fight against you.
I don't want to fight you either. But I don't want to see the world go through even more pain on top of what Elganon has done. Do you?
This world is broken, Rook, because of my mistakes.
You're right. You do need to make up for the damage you've done. But breaking the world again is the wrong way to do it.
Letting the Veil collapse
Is what you want. Making amends isn't about what you want. You have a chance right now to save the world. Bind yourself to the Veil and stop it from falling.
I cannot. To stop now would dishonor those I have wronged to come this far.
Even if those you wronged asked you to stop?
Inquisitor.
You were my friend. We saved the world together once. Can't we save it one more time?
Inquisitor, I am sorry. But I cannot. Long before we met, I failed my oldest friend. She died for that failure. If I leave the Veil in place, I am destroying the world she wanted. And I will have... She will have died for nothing.
And whose fault is that, Dreadwolf?
Morrigan.
One appellation among many I wear. I have been advisor to Orlais, Witch of the Wilds, daughter of Flemeth, and once, long ago, an old friend.
Mythal lives on in her. And in this. Mythal.
I pulled you from the Fade you loved and sent you into war. I used your wisdom as a weapon, and it broke you.
The things that I have done
are not for you alone to bear, my friend. The many wrongs we did together. I release you from my service.
You are free to find a better way.
My life force now sustains the Veil. With every breath I take, I will protect the innocent from my past failures. The Titan's dreams are mad from their imprisonment. I cannot kill the Blight, but I can help to soothe its anger. I will go and seek atonement. Thanks to you, I now can see the way.
The Veil's not coming down on my watch.
It is over. You could never stand against me alone. If you will excuse me, the final enchantments require a delicate touch.
A delicate touch? You kill Varrick, stab me in the back. You're about to drown the world in demons. How are you any different from Elganon, trying to impose your will on all of us?
Elganon would have seized his victory by force. You were not crushed by the power of the Dreadwolf. You were bested fairly, by wits alone.
Dagger was a fake. Here's the real one. And now the Veil is once again tied to the life force of an elven god.
Bested fairly by wits alone. I taught you well.
Varrick taught me well. And you killed him.
You think yourself capable of judging me? I have faced things you could not possibly comprehend. You are a mortal! A mortal! And I am... I am a fool who finally met his match.
The Veil's not coming down on my watch.
It is over. You could never stand against me alone. If you will excuse me, the final enchantments require a delicate touch.
I am standing against you, and I am not alone. But you will be. The veil needs to be tied to the life force of an elven god. And now it is Dreadwolf.
You sneer at me so you understand. You are mortal compared to you, to your infinitesimal existence. I am a god!
The veil's not coming down on my watch.
It is over. You can never stand against me alone. If you will excuse me, the final enchantments require a delicate touch. Everyone! Everything! It is over!
Yeah, it is. Because it's not just my blood on that dagger.
No!
You are never ready to make the sacrifices that leadership requires.